In this video lecture, we are going to understand evolution by natural selection. This concept was first written down already more than 150 years ago by Charles Darwin in his famous book, The Origin of Species. Well, evolution by natural selection is amazingly simple. Everybody can understand it. You just need 3 ingredients. As soon as those 3 ingredients come together, evolution by natural selection will automatically take place. There's simply no way around it. A characteristic, a trait, will evolve by natural selection if the following 3 conditions are met. Well, first, we need variation. The trait we are interested in has to show variation among individuals of a species. Well, we see that a lot. For instance, variation in body height in humans, or slight variations in the wing patterns of these moths. Spring ushers, they are called, photographed in Naturalis, the Natural History Museum in the Netherlands. Or, as an example, the length of the neck in these imaginary giraffes. There are giraffes with slightly longer necks and giraffes with slightly shorter necks. The second ingredient we need is selection. How does that work? Well, in principle, numbers of animals can increase exponentially. If we start with 2 giraffes, a male and a female, and we give them everything they need, then they get, let's say, 4 children. Well, if these children also get 4 children, and those children also, and so on, then sooner or later we will be covered under a thick layer of giraffes. Obviously, that's not the case. Not all giraffes survive. Not all giraffes can reproduce. There has to be some selection. There is simply not enough food for all those giraffes. The resources are limited, and there's competition for those resources. There is, as Darwin phrased it, a struggle for life. Well, giraffes, they eat leaves from shrubs and trees. It is very well possible that giraffes with a longer neck are able to eat a bit more leaves from the tall trees than giraffes with the shorter necks. And we can very well imagine that, particularly if we make it as busy as on the previous slide, that if not every giraffe can survive, that those giraffes with a slightly longer neck have a better chance to survive and to reproduce. That is what we call selection. In the end, the important thing is that the trait we are interested in consistently leads to a different number of offspring. And maybe this giraffe with a long neck is a mother that can eat a bit more and produce a bit more milk just to raise 1 baby giraffe more than the mothers with a shorter neck. Well, that is already sufficient. The crucial thing is that organisms with an advantageous trait will leave more offspring to the next generation. That is what the second ingredient is about. That is what we call selection. And lastly, the trait has to be heritable. In our example, that seems very likely too. Now, it is easy to imagine that parents with a long neck also raise offspring with a long neck. And now it becomes very clear. If those organisms with an advantageous trait get more offspring, and if that trait is heritable, well, then it must be that in the next generation there will be more individuals with that trait. On average, the length of the giraffe's neck has increased. The population has evolved. And that's evolution. Evolution by means of natural selection. There's nothing more to it. Those 3 conditions are required, but also sufficient for evolution by natural selection. Well, in the next video lecture, Menno and I are going to have a look for an example of natural selection in our surroundings.